Hey, welcome back to the Joie Miller podcast. I'm so excited to continue our conversation on becoming her, walking in our identity with confidence and knowing what God has called us to be and to walk in that calling. Today, we're going to be talking about people pleasing, confessions of a people pleaser. I think if we took an honest assessment, we would all say we lean towards the tendency of wanting to please people. And if we're going to walk in our God-given calling and become the version of ourselves that God has called us to be, we have to stop pleasing people. You will not please everybody. Just so you know that you are not going to please everybody, that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, that not everybody is going to love who you are or what you do, and that is okay. It's okay. You're not going to fit everybody's vision of what the perfect person should be. And so I want to give you permission today, just like we gave you permission last week to say no. I want to give you permission today to realize that not everybody will be happy with who you are and your decisions, and that is okay because you are living for an audience of one. Now, I do believe God can give you a space where you can be at peace with everybody. You shouldn't just be going around making conflict for the sake of making conflict, but you don't have to live in a way where you're constantly bowing to the opinions of man. And so we're going to deal with this today about the temptation to please people. I want to confront some different lies that come at us when it comes to others. Number one is this: if I don't say yes, I will lose approval or they won't like me. Talking about being manipulated by the fear of people not liking you, needing the approval of man. And this is a real thing. You know, we like to be liked. We don't like to feel like we're the odd man out or that people don't like us. But if we're not careful, we can actually walk less than what God has called us to because we want to make other people feel happy and feel good. I think about this story in the Bible of David. And David had a brother named Eliab, and it was his older brother in 1 Samuel 17. And the chapter earlier, Eliab was one of the brothers brought out before Samuel to be anointed as the next king of Israel. And the prophet Samuel looked at Eliab and he said, nope, this isn't the one. And he actually called David out of the fields to anoint him as king. Now, this is important because bringing up to speed in 1 Samuel 17, David is showing up on the scene. He's going out to fight Goliath. And one of the first voices that he hears is from his brother Eliab. And Eliab starts to question David. He's like, who do you think you are? You know, you're just full of pride. Who do you think you are? You can go out and kill this giant. Well, David could have very easily been persuaded by Eliab's opinion of him and said, yeah, you're right. Who do I think I am? I shouldn't do this. You know, I shouldn't think that I can go out there and fight this giant. Maybe I am full of pride. When the reality was that Eliab just wasn't for David walking in his calling, that Eliab was actually projecting on David his own issues. And unfortunately, when it comes to people will project. They will project their own issues on you. And so if you're always giving into the lie of, I don't want to do this because somebody might not like me, their motive might not be pure. Eliab didn't like that David was going to go fight the giant because David was anointed king over him. Eliab had issues. He had his own self-confidence issues, and he was trying to belittle David so that he felt better about himself. And what if David would have listened? What if he would have taken on that label? And so I want to encourage you today not to take on labels that other people try to put on you because of their own projections and insecurities. That people will constantly be trying to bring you down in order for them to feel better about themselves. And if you're going to accomplish what God has called you to do and move forward with confidence, you have to break out of this. You have to stop allowing other people's projections to become your reality. Thank you for listening to the Joie Miller podcast. If you love this podcast, I want to encourage you to book a spot to advertise your business or company on this podcast. I believe in people accomplishing their dreams, accomplishing their business goals, ministry goals, whatever God has called you to do. I want to be a part of it. Let me come alongside of you and support you. Put your ad in today at joiemiller.co. And so one of the ways that you do this is by staying steadfast in who God has called you to be, receiving your validation from Him alone. I love the scripture in the Bible. It talks about Jesus loving people. And because if anyone loved people, it was Jesus, right? But there's a verse and it says, Jesus loved people, but He didn't entrust Himself to them. And this is so important because we should love people. We should want to be at peace with people. We should want to be likable, right? Because we want to lead people to Christ and just have fun with other people, enjoy company, not be difficult. But it said He didn't entrust Himself to them. He didn't give His validation over to them, His worth, because people can be deceived by their own hearts, by their own hurts, by their own disappointments. And so if you're constantly allowing people to define you, you'll make an effort to become a better version of you, walking the purpose that God has. And then people will, out of their own pain and projections, try to bring you back down and create a lid over your life. And if you're going to walk in all that God has for you, you have to break out of this. Don't fear the opinions of man. People are going to like you. They're going to be singing your praises one minute. And what did they do with Jesus? Then they were saying, crucify Him the next. People are fickle. So don't put your worth and your value in people. Lie number 2 is this: my worth and my value is measured by how much I am needed. This is a word that we like to call codependency. If you're relying on other people to need you, there is a deficiency in you that you need to overcome, because if you don't, this will keep you in dysfunctional cycles. Just like the opinions and projections of man will put a lid on you, this will keep you going around the mountain over and over again, out of dysfunctional cycles that you need from other people. I think about the story of Mary and Martha in the Bible. Martha was taking care of all of the things. Jesus was in their house for dinner. She was getting the food ready. She was, I'm sure, getting the table ready. And Mary, her sister, was sitting at Jesus's feet. And Martha was so upset that she was like, Jesus, can you please tell my sister to get up and do something? And Jesus said, Martha, Mary is doing the right thing, and I won't take it from her. Well, a couple things that we can see from this pattern is that Martha was finding her validation in what she was doing. She was allowing busyness to define her. She was allowing it to give her validation and worth. And in this moment, she was creating a cycle where she was the good sister, she was the busy sister, and Mary was not doing what she should do. And in some weird way, this gave her validation. There was a codependency. If everybody needed her, then she was more valuable than Mary. And Jesus was saying, no, Martha, Mary is actually doing what's right. She's sitting at my feet in this moment. While all the other things need done, so many times we think, should we be more like Martha or like Mary? Well, it's a combination depending on what the situation is. The question is, are you allowing this dependency of other people to give you value or worth or drive you? And Jesus was saying, look, you can't let that define you. That is a recipe for resentment. It will cause you to resent other people, to make you feel like nobody is giving you the validation that you deserve. A relationship that is like an endless deep pit that you just need validation is going nowhere. You will drive people away if you feel like they feel like they just have to keep validating you. Your validation doesn't come from that, and your need to be needed isn't good. That you need to say, you know what, I'm not going to be codependent in these relationships. That If you're codependent, you're always going to be putting the needs of others before what is important and priorities to you, just because you want to feel like you are worthy, or that you're worth something, or that they need you. And so understanding that they are going to be okay just on their own. There was a time in my life that I wanted to be like the picture perfect mom. So anything that my kids needed, I was just like there doing it. Well, that wasn't altogether healthy, because I was creating a need on me when they should have been creating a dependence on God, and actually becoming independent in themselves. And so I had to step back and saying, although I want to come and rescue everybody, it's not to their best interest that I come and rescue everybody, that I am not the hero of the story, that God is the hero of the story. And sometimes people have to learn to depend on Him and to grow in their independence. I am not the answer, and that's okay. Not only is that okay, it's even good. And so when you understand that, you start to release the need to have to be the doer of everything, that everybody has to call you. Everyone has to call mom. Everyone has to call you in your workplace. I need the approval of the boss. No, everybody should not need you. That creates bad dependency issues, and it creates a wrong validation within you, that you feel like what you do is more important than who God has created you to be. He has created you worthy and valuable just as you are, and you don't need other people to validate that. You don't need to be always doing. Stay productive, stay in God's will, and with that you will have peace and blessing. You won't be resentful. You'll be in a place of just knowing that you are loved by God, and that is where your worth comes from. Lie number 3 is that my purpose is fragile. Your purpose is not fragile. You're not going to miss it. We have FOMO when it comes to the plan of God. In some weird way, we feel like, God, we're sitting there and we're like, God, pick me, pick me. No, God has already chosen you. And if we feel like our purpose is fragile, then we're always going to be catering to whatever need arises. And so Galatians 1:10 says, am I trying to win the approval of human beings or the approval of God? And people don't validate our calling once again. God has already called you. You're already chosen. You're not pick me club. God has already chosen you. And when you understand that, you won't feel like you have to validate yourself in front of humans. You won't feel like every opportunity that you get, you have to run after. The missed opportunities that you don't get won't shatter you. You can walk in full confidence knowing my purpose is not fragile. My purpose it's not determined. It's not in the held of the hand of human beings. God holds my purpose. He promotes who He wants to promote. He opens doors that no man can close. And when you understand that, then you can release people being in charge of your destiny. God's in charge of your destiny. Your purpose is not fragile. You could walk with peace in knowing that. And you can have a patience in the waiting, and you can actually enjoy the process in the journey. 3 signs as we wrap up today, 3 signs that you might be a people pleaser. Number 1 is, do you feel guilty or bad for saying no to people? If the answer is yes, you might be a people pleaser. Do you avoid hard conversations? Are you afraid to have that conversation with somebody that you don't want to have? If the answer is yes, you might be a people pleaser. Do you base your identity on how others respond to you? If the answer is yes, you might be a people pleaser. Give yourself permission to say no to people, to say no to things that are outside of what you feel like God has called you to do. Give yourself permission to break free of codependent cycles, of always feeling like that you have to be needed. Find your validation in God. Know that your purpose is not fragile. It's set aside. It's got a big old reserved sign on it for you. Man can't take it away, and man can't give it to you. It comes from God. When you understand that, you'll start walking in the best version of yourselves, and you'll start becoming her who God has called you to be. I'll talk to you soon on the Joie Miller podcast.